But I want to ask this question to my boy Joe first to kick things off. Joe, obviously we got the Eagles versus the Commanders. You know, we got the coaches versus the coaches, the running backs versus the running backs, the defense. We know it's a lot of different pieces, right? We could talk about. But we got to start with the quarterback position. Which quarterback do you trust more right now? In this situation, to go to the Super Bowl, money on the line. I got to put my money on one of these two guys. Is it Jalen Hurts or is it your boy, Jayden Daniels?
I mean, are we serious? You really asked me? You see what I got on? You see, you asked me that question? I'm going with Jayden Daniels. I trust him more. Now, I legitimately do. I think I would trust him more if I wasn't a Commander fan. I think the only guys I would trust Jalen Hurts more is probably 50% because half of the Eagles fans don't bang with Jalen Hurts. Probably 50% of the Eagles fans, and that's it. Everybody else in the world probably would say the same thing I'm saying. I would trust Jayden Daniels. But context matters. Shout out to Kev. Context matters. I need to know the context. Are we asking, what situation are we trusting him in? Because obviously my boy is asked to do more in his situation when your guy is not really asked to do a lot in this situation. And we're talking about the playoffs. We're not talking about regular season. Playoffs is a different beast. And above the playoffs, NFC Championship game. Some guy would say, hey, you got to go with Hurts. He's been here before. He's the vet. Your guy only a rookie. He's never been in this stage before. So by default, you got to go with Hurts. He at least been to the bowl, right? He got now also another reason you go with Hurts. He got a better squad. He got Saquon Barkley. Hurts don't really got to do much for them to get to the next level so far as how it looked like. When Jayden Daniels, he has to do a lot. But all I know is this. I would trust my guy in his position and Hurts in his position. I would trust my guy 1,000% more if you switch positions. And I think you would too. And also, my guy, when he's asked to do more, he delivered. And Hurts, when he asked to do more in the playoffs, he's never delivered. So I'm going to go with my guy easily and say I trust him more. Now, Jayden Daniels, right? So far this playoffs, he's been asked to do a whole lot. He's the only guy in the playoffs that went on the road. Only guy. Every road team so far in the playoffs have lost. We were the biggest dogs of the playoffs against the Detroit Lions, and we put up 45 on them boys, 45-31. So I trust my guy. And Jalen Hurts, I mean, like I said, he's not really asked to do a lot. So, I mean, what situation are we talking about? I mean, if he's asked to do a lot, do I trust him? Nah, I don't really trust him right now over Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels has shown me over and over again in clutch moments, not just a playoff, but in the regular season, in clutch moments that he can deliver. And against your very team, against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, he threw a game-winning touchdown. So, give me Jayden Daniels.
I respect it. I knew you would say that, Joe. I knew you would say that. But I think the thing I'm most excited about is this matchup. Because at every turn, my dog can get discredited. So before I say anything, I got a little clip I want to play for you. Before I say anything, I got a little clip. I'm gonna play it for you right now. This is my question for you, Joe.
All right, you guys are giving instructions in the dressing room. Do you have any questions?
I got a question. You got any excuses tonight, Roy?
Let's not ask questions like that. Let's touch the gloves and go to work.
Tonight, Roy?
Let's go to work.
Because as the referee said, man, it's time to go to work. When we get done with y'all, I don't want to hear no more about, man, he only beat Daniel Jones. Or he only beat the backup for the 49ers. I mean, he did. Nah. Because on this playoff run, no matter how it's looked, I seen Jordan Love take an L. I seen Matthew Stafford take an L. And if he's saying, how do you pronounce it, the growth? It sounds like a disease or something, I ain't gonna lie. But if he's saying the growth home, if he's saying the greatest rookie player or rookie quarterback home in the playoffs, I don't want to hear no more about who my guy has played and who he has defeated. Now, Joe, I want to say this. To answer the question directly after we get that out of the way, after we get that video out of the way, I'm tired of the discredit. We're not having that today. So I'll let you know, we're not having that today. All right? Obviously, I trust Jalen Hurts more. Now, you highlighted some of the reasons why I trust Jalen Hurts more. The situation matters. The situation matters. Jalen Hurts has the number one defense in football to depend on. He has that. I expect that defense to be much better than they was the second time they played y'all. I expect that. He has Saquon Barkley to depend on. Saquon is sensational. That's all you can say about it. Saquon may be the greatest addition I've ever seen my team make. And we've had some great additions. I loved when we went and got Michael Vick. I loved when we got, AJ Brown back in, a couple years ago. But nothing has been better than this Saquon Barkley edition, right? He's in Philadelphia. He's at home. And whether you like it or not, whether you want to give him credit or not, he's been here. He's gotten through this game. And he's made it to a Super Bowl. But another reason why I trust my guy, Joe, over your guy is, in the matchups that they played each other, right? One guy turned the ball over quite a bit against this defense. I mean, in the playoffs, if it's one thing I noticed, since we don't give credit to quarterbacks who know how to game manage to a game and just play smart, right? You got to go for 300 yards and the defense got to give up at least 15 to 20 points in order to get the win, which, by the way, Jayden did a great job with it to a 299. Shout out to y'all. The Lions scored 31 points. I feel you, right? But one thing I've noticed about this postseason is quarterbacks who turn the ball over in this playoffs, they tend to go home. And when I look at the matchups that we had, I saw one interception against us in the first matchup. I saw two in the second matchup. And the second interception he threw should have ended the game. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. Devontae, you got to catch the ball. He got an opportunity, and he made the most of it. So not only that, when it gets to the turnovers, did you know Jalen Hurts is tied with Patrick Mahomes with the most consecutive playoff games without an interception? 6. In those playoff games, Patrick Mahomes has 1,556 yards with 11 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has 1,342 yards with 12 touchdowns. Very reliable. Now, granted, he's not asked to do as much. He's not asked to do as much, Artis. He's not asked to do as much, AJ. He only got to turn around and hand the ball off to Saquon. And Saquon takes over. The defense makes a stop. All I know is, last time he was on a stage remotely close to this was that Super Bowl. And while you can say, yeah, Jalen Hurts, he fumbled and he gave the ball to the defense and he gave up 7 points. When the Chiefs came back in that game, Jalen Hurts gave me a must-have-it drive to come down the field, not only get a touchdown, but run it in for a 2-point conversion to tie the game. And so all I'm going to say is this. I respect the fact that Jayden Daniels is having a better overall statistical season. He is. He is required to do more. But I've also seen Jalen Hurts step up when he has to do more as well. Granted, it ain't been this crazy situation where he's been down 1,000,000,001 points and he has to come back to win a playoff game. But I've seen Jalen Hurts play big for the Philadelphia Eagles more times than he hasn't. The win percentage says so. The playoff resume says so. So even though Jayden Daniels is playing better football, credit to him, who do I trust more? I'm going to go with the vet. Give me Jay Hurts with the money on the line. You know how I feel about him as a winner. Give me Jay Hurts. Interceptions. Not turnovers, interceptions.
Yeah, he's but look, Jalen Hurts almost lost y'all the game. He almost lost y'all the game.
Which game? We talking about this Rams game?
The Rams game. He was more. He scored the first touchdown, and after that, AJ, what did he do? He didn't do.
I mean,
he had more negative plays, in my opinion, that could have hurt y'all to lose the game. Then he had positive plays for y'all to win the game.
We can't talk about that without bringing up AJ drop now. AJ catch that pass. It's 20-10 going into halftime. It's some guys around him that didn't play well either now.
Was that pass underthrown?
Yes, it was underthrown. But that's yes, it was underthrown. But is that not a catch that AJ Brown should have? Was it not in the breadbasket?
Now let me ask you this. I tell you the same thing when Kenny Pickett threw it at Saquon Barkley and Bobby Wagner hit out his hand. And you told me it wasn't a good pass. He gotta put it in front of him. You ain't get Kenny Pickett that same pass.
Because there's a difference between throwing the ball to Saquon Barkley and throwing the ball to AJ Brown. You know that was AJ Brown's first drop. Second technically because he dropped the pass earlier. You know that was his second drop all year, bro. His second drop all year with guys like Saquon Barkley. And I don't mean to cut you off, but guys like Saquon Barkley, the ball got to be on the money because he's not a guy that's known for hands like that. AJ Brown, if it touch your hands, it's got to be caught. And then he had to turn around and come back for it, but it's in the bread basket.
But you got to think about the conditions too, though. I get you. He dropped the pass.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But if I'm the quarterback, I'm going to put the better ball in position for my receiver to catch it. Because the conditions were bad. The conditions were terrible. But look.
The conditions hurts too.
Jalen Hurts took 2 bad sacks when y'all were in field goal range and took y'all out of field goal range. That's 6 points. He took a sack. That was terrible. That was terrible. Jalen Hurts is really like when Saquon had 205 yards rushing. The defense played outstanding. Rams turned the ball over twice. Y'all had 0 turnovers, and the Rams still had a chance to win the game. Last second, y'all had to rely, not on Hurts, y'all had to rely on the defense to get that win for y'all. That's why I'm like, who do you trust? What has Hurts showed you this year in this playoff run that you can trust them? Even in the Packers game, did he put the Packers away? No, the defense was putting the Packers away. Like, so us, when we come to us, Detroit, they put the pedal to the metal. They were scoring. Boom, boom. We did turn the ball. They did turn the ball over. But you know what we do with our quarterback? 4th and 5. We're not punting. We trust that we're going to score, so we're going to go for it. My guy against Tampa Bay, 3rd and 1. What we do? We didn't do no touch play. We don't need that. Fake the handoff, do a bootleg run, 1st down. My guy has proven this year that you can trust him. He's been the clutchest player all year against your very team. You just said Hurts did enough to score a go-ahead touchdown, and Mahomes came down and scored. Don't you remember Jayden Daniels had a go-ahead touchdown against y'all? If Hurts were to do that again, best believe Jayden Daniels is going to respond and score again.
I don't know. I'm not saying
I know.
Not this time around in the playoffs.
I know.
Or not this time around in the NFC Championship. But
also in the playoffs.
Go ahead.
Also in the playoffs. I know y'all number 1 defense. Y'all not the Lions defense or the Buccaneers. I know that. We on the road. Also, Jayden Daniels, this playoffs, Hurts been taking a lot of negative plays. My guy don't. My guy in the last 2 games, 1 sack he's taken, 0 turnovers, 4 touchdowns. My man been 69% completion percentage. Now, obviously, what we're going to do, Hurts going to have to do something. Because the last time we played y'all, we did a great job with Saquon. I'm pretty sure we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to make you, Jalen Hurts, do something. He's going to have to do something. Go ahead.
Couple things. One, before I get back to what you said earlier, are you sure Jalen Hurts is going to have to do a lot? I mean, the game where we dropped 33 on y'all and almost beat y'all with Kenny Pickett, Kenny Pickett only threw for 143 yards in that football game. If y'all, I promise you this, Joe. If y'all can't stop the run, it's going to be the same old song, bro.
That didn't beat us because of the run. AJ, you forgetting 2 bombs that didn't count in the yardage. AJ Brown had 2 pass interference calls that didn't count. Kenny Pickett really threw for over 200 some yards. So y'all won because of 5 turnovers and because Saquon. I'm gonna get you. Saquon Barkley. Y'all didn't kill us with the run. Saquon Barkley had in the first quarter, 7 carries, 109 yards. In the first quarter. In the rest of the game, 22 carries, 41 yards. Averaging 1.8 yards per carry. We shut that down for the rest of the game. Y'all only got them points because y'all had an early lead. Y'all had 21 points when we scored that, and we fumbled twice and threw 2 interceptions after that. So we had all these turnovers. That's the only reason why y'all scored 33 points. Yeah, we kept putting y'all in good field position in that one drive when AJ got those 2 pass interference. Outside of that, Saquon didn't do nothing. So we're going to force Jalen Hurts to do something this game. He's going to have to do more than what he's been doing lately. I'm just letting you know.
What happened in the first matchup? Did Saquon not step up, close y'all out in the first matchup?
Yeah, yes, he did. Yeah, but that's you talking about something that happened week 6 and week 7, and then also our offense they put no pressure on y'all because I told y'all and y'all ain't want to listen. I said, Jayden Daniels, I can't recognize this dude. He's not himself. I promise y'all, when we play y'all again, this won't happen. And what happened? Next time we play y'all, 5 touchdown passes. Because I'm telling you, that you're not going to see that same offense you saw in week what? That had 9 points going into the 4th quarter. That's not happening.
That's perfectly fine. But we not gonna put all the stock in these conversations in the one win y'all had and completely dismiss the one time y'all was in Philly this year and lost. Now Saquon
I'm talking about everything happened. Everything happened in our last 7 games that we won. We on a 7-game win streak.
That's perfectly fine. We on a win streak as well. All I'm saying is the last time we seen you boys in Philly, it wasn't so pretty. Now Jayden Daniels wasn't 100%, right? Just like the last time y'all saw us, Jalen Hurts wasn't available to play. That's all I'm getting at. It's a different game when he out there. Me and you both know it, just like it's a different game when Jayden Daniels is healthy. I also want to bring this up because you talked about this earlier about what Jalen Hurts does and what he doesn't do. I'll be the first to admit, Joe, the safety was unacceptable. I'm not gonna lie. It was inexcusable. It was inexcusable. I couldn't believe it. He had guys open. I think he was of the mindset he could still make a play on the knee and didn't trust himself and just took the safety. So I will give you that. The possession or a few possessions before that to end the half was right after the AJ Brown drop. He took the sack the next play. It's like AJ got to catch the ball, bro. That in my opinion is more about AJ than it's about Hurts. AJ Brown got to catch that ball. I don't care about the conditions because guess what? We're going to give him the pass for the conditions, but we're not going to give Hurts the same pass for the same conditions. We're not going to give Jake Elliott a pass for missing extra points either. But we're going to give AJ Brown a pass for not catching the ball in conditions. That's his job. Just like it's Jalen Hurts' job to not take bad sacks, to not get the other team points, and then not turn the ball over. He got to catch that ball. But I also want to point this out. Because I believe the run to start the game that everybody going to gloss over and not talk about when he ran for the 44-yard touchdown, right? That opened up the field even more for Saquon Barkley in this game. The two breakout runs that Saquon Barkley had, Jalen Hurts checked to at the line. I know he gets no credit for it, though. I know because Saquon Barkley did the work. And see, look, this is how y'all look. But see, when Aaron Rodgers get back there, right, and he said, let's change that. All right. Let's change this. When Peyton Manning get back there in the pocket, what? Oh, let's change this. Let's do this. I think this play a little bit better. And it turns into a big play. They get all the credit. Oh my gosh, what a genius. Oh my goodness, what a great play. He checked to it and da-da-da. But Jalen Hurts checks to his two biggest plays of the game. No credit. I'm not saying he should get all of the credit. All I'm saying is Jalen Hurts got the cerebral part of the game down too. When it comes to knowing what's going to work, when it's going to work. So all I'm saying is, bro, when it comes to Jalen Hurts, whatever needs to be done, like I always say, I trust he's going to get it done. And I trust that, like Blaze said, one of his biggest issues was turnovers. That boy ain't turning the ball over, bro. He's not turning the ball over, bro. And if Jayden Daniels keep talking about how well he played in this last game, that boy better not throw 2 picks again. He better not come out here. He better not come out here giving that ball up in Philly. I'm telling you, right? He had 5 touchdowns, 258 yards, great passer rating, da-da-da. If he come out there and play the exact same game with 2 books, bye-bye. That's all I'm going to tell you, bro. That's all I'm going to say, bro. That's all I'm going to say. Give me Jalen Hurts, man. Give me Jalen Hurts.
You know your QB struggling when you over here highlighting his checks.
Yes, because
every quarterback does that, AJ. And every quarterback, day-to-day as a rookie, does that. So like,
and if you brought it up and say he deserved credit for it because they resulted in, if you brought it up and said it resulted in big plays, he deserves credit for making the decision at the line of scrimmage and it being a big play. He deserves credit for that.
I'm not about to give him a ton of credit because
I didn't say he deserves a ton of credit. All I'm saying is it's a good check at the line, and it ain't his first time doing it.
That doesn't move the needle for nothing for me. It doesn't move the needle. Like that check don't like, man, hurts, man. You can trust him. No, my guy does the same thing. My guy make checks as a rookie. Most quarterbacks, especially veterans, they do that. They have control of the line of scrimmage.
Can I ask you a question? My bad. One more question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So say in this game, because it could be a close game. Say in this game, 4th quarter, Eagles got the ball, right? Say we up 3 points. Y'all need to stop. On 2nd down, Jalen Hurts come make a check at the line of scrimmage. Let's just say we at our own 20. No, we at our own 20-yard line, right? Jalen Hurts checks out of a pass play. Call Saquon Barkley to the backfield, and Saquon Barkley goes for a 70-yard touchdown. That don't make a difference to you? That don't seal the game for you because he is a part of the. Saquon didn't even, bro.
But it's Saquon Barkley.
Saquon didn't even. I'm not. This the thing. I know we got more questions.
I give way more credit to Saquon for that.
But the quarterback who touches the ball every possession also deserves some credit as well. Because if you don't check to that play, the play don't happen, right?
All right, how about this? I'm gonna give you another example. So you telling me that if we're on a 2-yard line, our own 2-yard line, and it's a read option, so the quarterback is making a decision, and he decides to give it to Brian Robinson, I'm supposed to say, man, we gotta give Jayden some credit. We gotta give him a lot of credit for that because he could have kept it.
Stop twisting what I'm saying. I'm not saying a ton of credit, but what I'm saying is he deserves some credit for making that check at the line, Joe. Same way he did in the Saints game, and y'all glossed over it when he was like, "Oh, Dallas Goedert took the ball and took it 50-some-odd yards." Why did that happen though? Why does that happen if Jalen don't make the check at the line? Does that play you just said happen if Jayden Daniels makes the wrong decision with the read option? No. So what is that? So the quarterback don't deserve no credit for making a good decision? That's his job, Joe.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve no credit, but in this debate we're talking about, who do you trust more? That don't matter to me because that's standard. Quarterbacks, that's part of literally the minimum of his job. It's literally. But what separates great from good ain't just that. It's what they do with their arm and their legs when they make a play. Now, sometimes you gotta check into some of those and depend on your other players. But Tannehill can do that, and I'm not going to make a big deal out of it because I want to see Tannehill do something too. I'm not going to take away nothing from Hurts if he don't do it. But we're talking about who do you trust. When I say trust, I'm not talking about just check at the line. I'm talking about, man, if the Eagles fall behind, who I trust more? Okay, I'm looking at all the scenarios. If the Commanders fall behind, I kind of trust Jayden Daniels. Okay, I might trust Hurts too, but I trust Jayden Daniels more in this situation. All right, especially in the playoffs. Because look, in the playoffs, right? When Hurts is asked to do less, he wins. When Hurts is asked to do more, he loses. So that point blank, what Jayden Daniels have done this year as far as responsibility, when Hurts was carrying the same amount of responsibility, he lost every single time. Literally. Every time he threw the ball more than I know somebody's gonna be like, oh, this stack. Jayden Daniels threw the ball over 30 times both games and won both games. Every time Jalen Hurts threw the ball more than 30 times, he literally lost, bro. Like every time he won, he didn't do nothing. And then remember, I kept telling y'all, when the team don't score more than 10 points, he don't win. The Rams score more than 10 points. I wanted to give him so much credit for this win, but I can't because he was doing so much bad stuff to help y'all lose the game. Like when he took the safety, he kept taking sacks. I can't even look at Hurts like, man, he finally got him a dub when somebody's going to win 10 points. Like he literally scored the first touchdown, which set the tone, which is cool. And then after that,
can I ask you a question?
He ain't too much.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
When we had a conversation about the Super Bowl, what do you always bring up, Joe?
You said what? Say it again?
When we have a conversation about the Super Bowl that Hurts played in, what do you always bring up? You say, I'll fill in the blank for you. You say Jalen Hurts gave him 7 points. That's what you say, right?
Why do I say that?
No.
Why do I say it though?
Let me finish.
Why though?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
If you want to fill in the blanks after I finish,
go ahead.
My brother, you say.
Go ahead.
He gave him 7 points. Mm-hmm. I'm like, but Joe, look at this. But he gave him 7 points. And then what do you conclude with? Hey, AJ, how much they lose by? I'm like, come on, Joe. That's not a fair argument. Jalen Hurts scores a touchdown. 6 points. How much they win by, Joe? 6 points. And the 2 Saquon Barkley runs, he made checks to help Saquon get those runs. So, again, it's more than the yardage. It's more than just the gotta have it plays and the gotta have it moments, which I fully believe Jalen Hurts can do. It's more than that. It's also the mindset, the attitude, and the decision-making all through the game, at the line of scrimmage. It's all of that when you play in the quarterback. It's not just one aspect. It's all of it. And Jalen Hurts has a whole grasp of this offense, and he's a big part of the reason why this offense runs the way it runs. And you keep on bringing it, bro, I get it. Jayden Daniels, he played a great game against Detroit, even though he got 3-4 turnovers, right? Great game. He played a great game. His defense gave up 31, even though, again, they scored a touchdown on their own, got a pick at the end of the half, got a fumble, and Jared Goff turned into a straight pumpkin, like I told y'all he would. I told y'all the Lions was sweet. I've been saying it all season. It's not what y'all think they are. Now, I did pick them to win, so I'll give you that. But I've been saying they sweet. I wanted that to be our food. That was our food. Y'all stole our food, which is why y'all about to be our food pretty soon. But at the same time, Joe, in these games, he got his number one guy. His team, for the most part on offense, now y'all just lost one of y'all guards, but his team is healthy in these games. They're healthy. In one of the games that we lost under these conditions, we didn't have our number one guy. And the quarterback at the time, and Jalen Hurts, was hurt. Right or wrong? Is Jayden Daniels 100% healthy right now?
Right now he is, yeah.
Is Terry McLaurin available?
Yeah.
In the Tampa Bay game, Jayden Daniels healthy?
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin healthy?
Yes, he is.
Okay, then. In two of the losses that he's had in his career, where he was required to do so much, two of the games he was hurt in, one of the games he didn't have his number one option out there. That's all I'm getting at, bro. I get it. I almost wish Jalen Hurts was in a scenario where he could do the impossible, so I could get a man some credit. But at the end of the day, it don't matter, bro. It don't matter because we'll take our wins. However,
now let me respond to what you said about the Super Bowl.
Go ahead.
Whenever y'all go back and watch Unfazed from the last episode, when he asked me straight up, was Hurts the main reason? I told him right there and then it was the defense. Somebody in the chat asked me the other day. I said the defense. I always blame the defense. When I bring up Hurts situation, it comes to y'all statement. He does whatever it takes. He does whatever it takes. Because in situations like last Sunday, that's a statement you will bring up. He did what it takes. He scored a touchdown in the beginning. He called a check to get Saquon the ball. He does what it takes. But when it comes to that Chiefs game, but Joe, he scored all these touchdowns. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. He had 1 rushing touchdown. But did he do what it takes? No, because he fumbled. I want you to stick with the same statement you stick with when he does the bare minimum. Stick with the same statement when he loses. Because, once again, when a defense don't look like a number one defense, Hurts be in trouble. Hurts lose every single time, literally every single time. So that's why I brought up Hurts fumble. I never said Jalen Hurts was the main reason why they lost. He was part of it. Because how much they lose by, AJ?
They lost by 3.
He lost by 3, but he gave up 7.
He showed
y'all would have won. So I didn't say Hurts didn't help. One of the first things I said was Hurts had a first touchdown. But then I also said after that touchdown, he didn't do much. I said that, which is a true statement. So, we didn't have our number one guy. Like, first of all, stop comparing us having Terry McLaurin to y'all having A.J. Brown. Because outside of A.J. Brown, we're talking about even last year's team. Outside of A.J. Brown, y'all had the way better offensive line. Way better offensive line. Do you not? Y'all have the best offensive line in the league. Best offensive line in the league last year. And on top of that, your tight end is better than ours. And on top of that, your number 2 is better than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 probably combined. So my thing is, the fact that you lose A.J. Brown and y'all fall so bad, it says so much. Like, you have a great roster. So why is this still a problem? So that's my thing. So go ahead.
These teams, you brought up a point. You said, when the defense don't show up, he loses every time. Again, bro, like I always tell you, like I've been telling you in the chat, bro, add the context. Because the 15th rate defense might not give up 30 in the playoffs, bro. They might not give up 30 in the playoffs, bro. I'm just saying. It's not as if these teams are out here scoring 20 points, Joe. These teams scoring 30 points, Joe. Like, the Buccaneers scored 30 points both times we saw them, Baker and Tom Brady, bro.
But what they got?
The Chiefs scored 31. The Chiefs scored 31. We scored 9 one game and 15 another game.
AJ, I would get you with the Chiefs game because you went toe-to-toe with them. But explain to me the other 2 Buccaneers game because you did not go toe-to-toe with them. You only scored 15 and 9. So that 30-point margin don't matter because you scored only 9 points.
He lost the game.
The Lions scored 31. And guess what we did? 45.
Your defense also gave you. First off, y'all put up 38.
Give us how much?
Y'all scored 38. Your defense gave you a touchdown, did they not?
But we scored how much? 38.
38. And how
We
many
didn't score 9 or
turnovers?
15.
In those games, do you remember the Eagles getting turnovers and getting us short field positions in those games that we lost, Joe?
But we scored 30. We never had a short position. Like we had a pick 6, and the fumble was in their own territory, and the pick was before the half. And another pick, he ran it back like what, 15 yards to 20 yards? We never had good field position.
Turnovers, as we both know, swings momentum entirely. I get the field position conversation, but turnovers swing these games, especially in play. We just saw, bro, when you turn the ball over, you don't win playoff games. We know this now.
And
so
you're right.
in these games, in this game against Jared Goff, and we should get to the next question. But in this game, thought he turned the ball over 4 times, bro. They got the ball 4 times, bro. That facilitates in y'all scoring points. And on top of that, Joe, the Lions got one of the worst defenses out here on top of all of that. All these teams that we play, Tampa defense was like that last year. Tampa defense with Tom Brady fresh off a championship. Bro, the situations are much
What I'm not going to take from you, AJ?
The situations are much different. Go ahead.
Real quick, what I'm not going to take from you is you talk about the turnovers situation when every reason why y'all winning is because y'all forcing turnovers. Literally. Your defense is forcing turnovers. Y'all won 4-0 against Green Bay and won by 1 possession. Y'all won 2-0 against the Rams and won by 1 possession. So y'all are feasting on turnovers. So I don't want to hear the turnover battle when it comes to you because Hurts getting all his dubs. Y'all 15-1 the last 16 games, and y'all want to turnover battle in every game except for the Ravens game because nobody's
15-1.
Yeah,
wait, you said we want to turn. I have to go back and fact check that. We want to
turnover
battle every one of those games.
It's part of my notes. Yeah, every game except for the Ravens game, nobody turned the ball over in that game. But every game, y'all want to turnover battle. So y'all fixed off that.
That's fair.